Hey guys, I ordered some brushes over a week ago and they came in very quickly. So without further ado, I want to talk about the Sonia G Sky Face Set. If you've seen my other videos, especially the one on Sonia G's Sky Eye Set, you would already know that I've been trying to upgrade my brush collection, if you could call it that. Actually, it's not a collection. It's just brushes that I have sitting that I use. And I'm looking for something that would do the job faster and give me better results. So in this video, I'll talk about my decision on getting the set, what I think each brush is going to be good for me as I put on my makeup, and how it's either, filling a gap in my, non-existent collection, or what brush it's replacing. Let's start with the Master Face brush. This is a pretty dense brush, but still fairly small in its, circumference of the area it covers. The dome it comes up to is actually fairly flat at the top. I am going to use this brush to set powder or add finishing powder, and it's really effectively replacing this Pro Flawless Light Powder brush from Sephora. I think this brush has done a decent job when I use it to apply finishing powder. And initially I thought that maybe this brush here, the Master Face, might be too dense. It might end up moving my foundation or contour, but after using it today, it really doesn't. I think it picks up a good amount of product and it diffuses it or places it on your face very evenly without disturbing anything that's already on there. I am not really sure I can say the same for this. I think it picks up product, but perhaps a little bit unevenly. So even as I work the product onto my face, I feel like the application is never quite as even as I would hope it to be. So for my experience, my one-time experience, I'll be telling you more as I use this, but that has not been the case. It looks to be fairly even from what I can see. Next we have the Soft Cheek brush, much less dense than the Master Face. This brush is actually not replacing any brushes that I already have. I see this very much as putting on blush precisely on the face and then using the same brush to buff it out. I feel like this would do a good job in diffusing color in a very controlled manner. Then we have the Classic Cheek brush. This is undyed goat hair, meaning you could use it with liquid and creams. Have not tried that yet. I did use it to apply powder blush today. It does pick up a good amount of product, and the blush that I use is actually Jouer's, and it was very pigmented. So I ended up having way too much of the blush. So what I did was actually using the Soft Cheek, went back in to buff it out, and that seemed to have worked well. And with the Classic Cheek, I'm actually not replacing any brushes that I already have. I can also see the Classic Cheek as perhaps a good highlighter brush because it covers a good amount of area, but not too much. And then it's undyed goat hair, so you could probably use it to buff out contour if you wanted to. Then we have the Worker Fan, also with undyed goat hair. This, as you can see and probably guess, I used it for contouring. I use a stick contour, so after applying it, I just went right in and did this. Once my makeup has set, I did go back in with a powdered contour, applied it to the hollows of the cheek, right around the jawline here, and then on the forehead. I was able to easily apply it with this and then just kind of diffuse the color so it's not just like a line here. So far pretty happy with this. This brush is replacing this fan brush here from Sephora, the Pro Face or Pro Full Coverage Airbrush. And you can actually use this brush to apply foundation, which I'm sure you can do it with the Worker Fan as well. Maybe we'll give that a try sometime in the future. And I just, over time, had fallen out of love with this brush. It's something about, maybe it's too dense, maybe when I try to apply foundation or use it to diffuse cream contours, I feel like it moves the foundation. Maybe because of how it's synthetic, I'm not sure. I've just fallen out of love with this guy. I'll just keep it as a backup in case I might need it for something else. And because it's so dense too, the other thing is, it's short and so dense that I really can't even use it to apply highlighter, for example, whereas I could do that with the worker fan. And then here is the mini cheek. This is the brush that I looked most forward to. It's a combination of dyed and undyed goat hair, which is how you get this finished look. I am going to use this, and I've already done that. I'm using this brush to set powder under my eyes. You see how I can pat it on, and then I can very light hand sweep excess away. I can also use a different side of it during the same makeup application to apply highlighter in a very controlled, precise way, probably the most controlled and precise way than all the other brushes we just saw. Apply that on the nose, on the chin. You can see how well that would work. Since I don't have anything like this, it's not really replacing anything directly. However, I have been using these two brushes to set finishing powders or setting powders under my eyes. I would go in with this Hakuhodo and Sephora Pro collaboration brush and just do this. And then at times I would even go back in with the smaller, and it's not really meant for under eye, but it's the Pro Smoky Crease from Sephora to just blend it out. It was too dense. I think it ended up moving the concealer. This one, I don't feel like it, again, dispersed the product evenly. This mini cheek here has done a fantastic job. I like how things turned out under my eyes today. Looking at all the cheek brushes, there's really multiples here that you can use. You can actually use all the brushes to apply blush if you'd like, all of them. It just depends on how precise, how pigmented the product is and what you're trying to do. Earlier I mentioned I put on too much of the blush, went back in with this to blend it out because it's so soft. I know I'm not going to risk moving anything underneath even as I continue to work on the product, but you can probably do the same with a worker fan if you wanted to cover more area with the blush. And you could also use the master face as well. It's a little bit more dense, but I think you can, work it through if you need to. I didn't do that because this is reserved for setting powder that doesn't have any color to it. And the other cheek or blush brushes that I have is going to be this Sephora brush. This is natural hair. It's not the synthetic version that I believe they only sell synthetic now. This is the 168. This brush is not being replaced by the set. I still enjoy having, an angled brush to work with. So this will be a nice backup. And then I have here the Beautylish Lunar New Year limited edition brush from this year. Very soft, natural squirrel hair, very good for diffusing color. Also really great for a very light application of blush. If you work with something is super, super pigmented, this is my go-to because I know when I place on there, likely I'll have to go back in once more, but that's okay. I'd rather that happen than putting too much on and then work to diffuse or have to go in with a Q-tip to take some off. Overall, I'm really happy to have this set. I've only used it once and already I'm fairly happy with the result. It is sold out currently on Beautylicious website. From what I understand, there's going to be a restock fairly soon, and that sounds to me the wait is not going to be as long as we've had to wait for this most recent restock. I would, if you're interested, sign up to get notified on Beautylish for when it comes back in stock. You can also follow Sonia G on Instagram. She will post whenever a restock is coming. She will also provide the exact date if it's available. The next video is going to be me using every single one of these brushes for a makeup application, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching all the way through. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe for more similar content in the future. Take care, stay safe. See you guys next time.